Are you finding FIFA 23 difficult? Do you find that the gameplay is frustrating? Because you're not the only one. I'm getting hundreds of comments from people telling me that the game's not good, that they're not enjoying the game, but in reality this is the best FIFA we've had in years. So today I'm going to show you a few things that you can change to make the game more enjoyable. And please, if you do learn anything new in this video, make sure to drop a like. Alright. Let's start off with the camera set. Without a doubt, the best camera angle in the game is co-op. The co-op camera angle really gives you a good view of the pitch. It helps you pick out runs that you wouldn't normally spot. It also helps out massively defensively. It really helps you cut out any potential threats your opponent could offer. Going down to height and zoom, these make very little impact. I feel like the difference between 0 and 20 isn't really noticeable, but I leave mine on 0 and 0 just so I get the maximum amount of view from the camera angle. And if you go all the way down to the bottom here, you'll see power shot zoom. Basically, this is when the camera zooms in when you take a power shot. It's a very small detail, but I don't see a need to have this on. At the end of the day, it's just another thing that could distract you, and you don't need any more of that in FIFA. So you're better off just turning that setting off. Let's move on to the controller settings. Alright, first up we have competitive master switch. This setting is turned on anyway if you enter FUTChamps, division rivals, or even squad battles. So with this setting we don't even get much of a say whether or not we can have it on or off. I leave mine on anyway, just in case I play career mode. I don't want to get into any bad habits. I recommend you guys do the same. Moving down, we have true ball pass assistance. We have two options here, semi or manual. Manual I would not recommend at all. Semi gives you somewhat of an assistance. You want to have a lot of these assistants on to the maximum you can, so leave that on semi. Basically, semi is going to help you out a tiny bit. Manual is going to leave you stranded on your own. Use semi. The FIFA trainer, if you're new to FIFA, I recommend leaving this on. If you're not new, turn this off. There's no reason to show it once again. It's just another thing that could possibly distract you. Timed finishing, you want this on. This is so important this year. If you know how to do a timed finish, that's a huge skill advantage. Myself, I'm not that good at them, but I'm always trying to get better. I recommend checking out some of the skill games. They can really help you practice with no jeopardy. Just 15-20 minutes every time you boot up FIFA. Practice makes perfect. Just give it a go and you'll get better over time. Next, player switch indicator. This is the little white arrow. Basically indicates when you press L1 or LB which player you're going to switch to next. This is handy to have on. If you use L1 or LB to switch your players, you're going to want to know who you're switching to, so leave that on. Pass block assistance is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to help you block passes. Leave that on. Auto switching, you want to have this on air ball and loose ball. Do not have this on automatic. It's going to really mess with your game. You do not want FIFA deciding when you have to switch players. Leave that on ball and loose ball, and then you manually switch players. Auto switch move assistance, leave that on none. We don't want auto switching anyway, so turn that off. Clearance assistance, you want to have this set to classic. Basically what this setting is, classic's going to boot the ball anyway away from the goal when it's time to clear it. Directional, you'll have to point the analog stick in the direction that you're going to clear it. At the end of the day, once the ball's away from the goal, that's all that matters. Leave that on classic, you'll have an easier time. Player lock, this is when you're on the ball, you can switch to a different player and make them make a run. This is a very good setting. You're going to want to have this on. Right stick switching, this is a new feature. You can now hold down the right stick for longer and it will give you a player that's further away. This is something I'm testing. As I said, this is new, so I want to give it a try and see how it feels. Right stick switching reference. This is when you want to switch players with your right stick. Do you want the reference to be taken from where the player is or where the ball is? For me, you're always watching where the ball is, so the ball makes more sense. Then all these settings, you want to have them on assisted or semi. Just don't have them on manual. Analog sprint, you want to have this off. Basically, the further you hold down your analog stick, the faster your player will run. You don't want that. You always want your players running to their maximum pace. Have this off. Pass receiver lock. Late is guaranteed, tested and works. A lot of these settings are new. I'm going to go with what I know best. Late has been in FIFA for quite a while now, so choose late. And then vibration, you want that off. Once again, just another thing to distract you. And trigger effect, have that off. That is horrendous. You're going to want that turned off. I believe in Ultimate Team, if you're playing against someone who has trigger effect on, you will have it on as well, and there's no way of changing that. Unfortunately, it is very frustrating, but that's the game. So all of these settings are going to help you in game. It's going to help you win more games and have a more enjoyable FIFA experience. If you want a video that's going to help your players perform in game, click the video on the screen now. That is the best tactics and formation in the game right now. It's going to help you guys out massively.